guys, my name is Adrian Lehu Raja Girsang, and this is one of several stories about God's miracle in my life. This story is one of the lowest point stories in my life and in my family. Starting from the entry of COVID-19 in Indonesia, especially in my hometown, Medan, North Sumatra, where the impact of COVID-19 was felt in my family. My father works to open a shop that offers typing service such as thesis or other typing that relies on school children and students around our area. However, due to extraordinary effect of the COVID pandemic, my father's income was greatly reduced. Many of our needs at the time were very difficult to fulfill. Especially at that time, I was also going to college. At the first, I was pessimistic about being able to go to college because our situation. At the time, my parents said to me, "It's okay. You just go to college, and for the cause let us think about it. And don't forget to hope in God and bring everything into prayer." And yeah, at the time, I immediately said to God that I surrender all my life and my family into your name, Lord. The whole journey of my life, my father, mother, and my brother, I surrender to you. And I believe that you will fill us in our life and now. I don't need to be afraid of all the anxiety and problems that exist in my life, because I know God loves me and my family. I surrender my entire life journey to Him. Thank you, guys.
Guys, let me introduce myself. My name is Ragil Herodiano Minfini. This is my story. In 2019, I graduated from Hicks School, and when I graduated, I had my hopes and aspiration of wanting to become a pastor. Starting from it all, after I listened to the grounded results from his school in my 2019, I decided to continue my education to the top level, namely theology school. When I entered in July 2019, I went with some of my friends who also wanted a theology test, and it just so happened that the campus had opened enrollment. We went to the campus of Artawacana Kupang Christian University, and this was my initial campus when I did a theology test. My friends at the initial test take, they didn't pass at the time of the announcement of the results of the first test. Over I was the one who passed the first test. After I passed the first test, I continue my psychological health and interview test. My psychology and health grounded, but the interview didn't. From 3, I felt disappointed with God, angry with God, got willing and I asked myself, why does God allow this is fair to be accepted and must I fight? Am I not a faithful person with God in serving God in the court as a pianist of the court? I felt disappointed, desperate, crying. I prayed to God and expressed my disappointment to God with tears in my eyes. I thought back then maybe God still wanted me to serve as a card pianist. I stopped 1 year in 2019, give myself and serve God as a card pianist while waiting in the next year. My hopes for another test of theology at Artawacana Kupang Christian University for the second time. Then when I entered in 2020, I test theology the second time at Artawacana Kupang Christian University. So from the test results, I didn't pass the second time. Then on the result of communication with parents, confrontation after confrontation with one parents and pastor who helped me at that time for the conversation. And I was ready to go to study theology at Satyawacana Christian University. I prayed to God and I was ready to go and whatever happened, I left everything to God and was ready to study at Satyawacana Christian University in the Department of Theology. At my will, I was helped my pastor in taking care of all my files and all other administrative needs. I immediately took care of it, registered it to the email address of the Satyawacana Christian University well and complete. Then when the result of communication with parents, conversation after conversation between parents and pastor who helped me at that time for all the conversation. Then I was ready to study theology at Satyawacana Christian University. I prayed to God and I was ready to go, and whatever happened, I left everything to God and was ready to study at Satyawacana Christian University in the Department of Theology. That's my will. I was helped by pastor in taking care of all my files and all other inspection notes. I immediately took care of it and registered it to the email address of Satyawacana Christian University. Will and complete.
Hello guys, my name is Desta Novita Ayusari and this is my story. One day of high school graduation, I thought I would continue my education to the university of my dreams. But together there are a lot of obstacles and I accept sharing for my mother who just wanted me to work. So I follow with my mother wishes and tried to apply for job in several places to apply for job. However, from the number of applications that I give, no one could accept me. On the one hand, I feel happy. Why? Because I do not want to work. What I want is college. And one day I pray to God. I say something like, God help me so that my mother will follow my dream to study at the university of my dream. After that, I speak again with my mother, intending to start my mother if I want to go to college. Then, thank God, my mother told me, do one-to-one, my mother will support you. Here I am called my mother, wanted me to study and I started connect my sister who is in Semarang, who happens to be this brother who also study at the same campus. And after that I took care of all the files needed in the registration, but before that I prayed to the course and said to God, what if God can allow me study? Please help me, God. Help me to enter and finish my studies at the university my dreams. But if not to be, because I believe God has a beautiful plan. After I prayed with full hope, I sent the file and I wanted for an answer from the campus. A week later, with faith, knew that I was accepted as a new student at the Satya Wacana Salatiga Semarang. I'm happy to give thanks to God and believe that if God allows me study, God will help me in a very process. From here I'm learning that God is always there for me and for us if we always hope and entrust everything to God. God is there for us in joy and sorrow. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Cindy, and now I will share about how God gave His grace in my life. Everything what we do definitely required money. If there is no money, then some things are difficult to do. The hard things I experienced when I was in Thai college and had to pay an initial registration of 6 million rupiah. And at the time, my parents didn't have money to pay the registration. It was a hard things, so very bad happened to me. I feel that I burned my parents, and I also thought that I would be better if I didn't not attend this year lecture and continue the following year. But my parents keep on trying, and they also support each other. And my mom say to me, don't give up. We have to believe that the God will supply what we need. And you know, guys, it was true that God's love was so real in my life and my family. At that time, a few months later, my parents got a blessing from their work, which was even double what we need, and it really makes me happy. And finally, I was able to pay the registration. From the incident, I also believe that God was so extraordinary. When we are in difficult circumstances, God will definitely help and be with us, even meet our needs. And I can only say thank you, God, for everything that God has given to me. Until now, I can still follow the lecture process. It's also because of God's presence. So this is my story. Thank you, guys.